No, I'm not joking. Jojo Siwa released a movie last year that was so underwhelming that no one heard about it, and the only reason that I heard about it was because a YouTuber brought it up to make the point that no one had heard about it.
Seriously? Yeah.
I ended up watching it because I guess that's my life. I spent 90 minutes scratching my head, eyes glued to the rectangular prison we call a television, in disbelief that this was given the green light by anybody. Now, before we get into the movie, I think it's only fair that we check up on her TikTok to see the shenanigans she's been getting into. Just refresh ourselves with the type of person that we're dealing with. Alright, I'm here at Jojo Siwa's TikTok page, and she's got an astounding 2 billion likes and 46 million followers. Those are numbers so high. Let's go check out the content she's posting that has caused her to get this kind of following, because it has to be bangers, right? Let's just play Jojo Siwa roulette here and get a random one.
You're still a traitor.
This is actually what happened the one time I got a squirrel and I tased it. I remember it was making similar movements. This is awesome. I like this. I like what it's doing. I like that it's encouraging people to just kind of disregard their bodily autonomy and enter a sort of seizure-like state. I like it. I like what it's promoting to the youth. I think the youth need a message like this to just kind of be more spazzy than they already are, because kids, we know that they don't sit still, and I think seeing Jojo Siwa be unable to sit still is good for them to keep that going for as long as they can.
Okay, I need y'all to cast a vote. Should the last thing I post on TikTok be a karma dance?
I thought she was going to say cast a vote for Kamala. I guess good thing she didn't get her voice involved in this. I know that people like watching rich people on television. Like, I know that reality TV, the Real Housewives of Los Angeles or whatever, these rich people that just live their lives get hundreds of millions of eyeballs. Jojo Siwa, on the other hand, I don't think she gives me the vibe of like this snobby rich bitch that is like, oh, you know, I'm going to parties, I'm doing blow, whatever. She's just kind of a weirdo.
Since we're all gonna die, there's one more secret I feel
Same t-shirt, needs to go. I think my main issue with this t-shirt is that the Vietnamese children that made it and their small hands that are going to be bruised and bashed from the large machinery that was used to assemble this monstrosity could have gone toward at least something cool. And this is not cool, so, you know. Now, I can't show you the movie because it'll get copyright striked, and the money they would make striking my video would be at least 100 times what they've made off the movie, so I'm gonna show you the trailer. It's called All My Friends Are Dead. Even the trailer channel looks ghetto. Comingsoon.net? There's just no way I visit that site and don't get a virus. The description reads, a group of college friends rent an Airbnb for the biggest music festival of the year. A weekend of partying quickly takes a turn as the group is murdered one by one according to their sin. They could have sent me $5 million with hotel and flight included to go to the premiere of this. I'd be like, nah, I can't make it, bro, I'm busy, I gotta walk my fish. Or just some bullshit, I'd make up some excuse to not go. You'll see it in the trailer too. I mean, the trailer is like the only chance you get to make a bad movie look good. You cherry pick the best parts and bait people into viewing it, and they couldn't even do that.
You may have heard of a person like this before. The friend who got you like no other. The one who was quick to defend.
In this scene, she's stopping the local meth addict tweaker from talking to a girl. Not because she's trying to help the girl, but because she wants her all for herself. Don't ask me how I know this, but this actor, after the release of the movie, actually moved to the Philippines. He actually begged the directors to cut out his parts from the movie and not release it. And after they didn't meet his demands, he left behind his family, 2 boys, 1 girl, and moved to the Philippines to start a new life. I talked to him the other week. He said that his kids would grow up to hate him for his role in this movie, so he had to start a new life.
The one who was such a light for others. It was an honor when they shared their hurt and their fears. Made you feel special. And it was inevitable someone would be drawn to that light.
You'll notice there's a disembodied voice speaking throughout the trailer, saying some stuff that's supposed to sound profound, but ultimately comes across as more of like an amalgamation of fridge magnet quotes. I don't know if this is because of the writer's strike or if XQC was the one who scripted this entire film, but this trailer has nothing to do with the movie. I mean, the description is literally like, yeah, all these friends are going to this music festival, it's so exciting, and then they all get murdered. Has anyone seen any of the friends or any of the music festival? I mean, I know I've only played a little bit of the trailer, but I'm telling you, it's just like this the entire time. There's just some random voiceover speaking in tongues.
Just to destroy it. Maybe they hid their pain as long as they could. never deserved such a light.
So that's the first trailer. Jojo Siwa apprehends a crack dealer and displays anxious facial expressions in slow motion for the rest of it. I mean, I guess credit where it's due. The trailer does give you the accurate amount of hype that you should have going into the movie, which is 0. The second one is actually more of a trailer because it shows you what you're gonna get, but it doesn't make it any better.
Hey guys, it's Liv in the big city. And guess what? I'm going to Karmapalooza, baby!
So these friends are going to Karmapalooza, which is this music festival, and all of them are like social media famous. So it's one of those movies where half the time they're like live for some reason talking to their chat. It has every single stereotype you can imagine, like the bitchy, popular, famous girl. It's got these stupid references like, are we hashtag about to get murdered? Like, yeah, okay.
Start with a cute pic. Cute! Yes? Find what's trending.
Make out?
Got it.
Yeah, do not try that one. Girls do not make out upon your request in real life. Instead, they call the cops.
Piggyback off that. Okay, ready? Now say fake as post. Fake as post.
That awkward moment when a cop car pulls up on you and your comically large weed bag falls out of your clothes cartoon style. This is what I'm talking about. It's every stereotypical movie cliche. It's almost a caricature of a cliche. The normal awkward movie scenario is the cop pulls you over and you have drugs on you. But what if the cop pulls up on you and the bag of weed you have drops to your feet in direct view of the cop who's gonna disapprove? Guys, it's genius. That's so sad. This guy's magnum opus is saying, I'm not gonna die a virgin in the trailer of Jojo Siwa's movie. It's worth mentioning the majority of this movie is not about Jojo Siwa. She only has like a minute of screen time, but the people decided to use her name to push the film. So everyone in this film is kind of a nobody, and this is their chance to get out there off Jojo Siwa's name. Or I should say was their chance, because none of them made it out. I mean, I wish all of them the best of luck, but I mean, it was just buns, like at the end of the day.
Remember, if you get stabbed, don't post anything about it. Victims are so played out.
Did they just forget to add the chat? Like, just no editors caught that? Yeah, I mean, if you weren't rocking with that masterful cinematic expression of human endeavor and perseverance, you're definitely suffering from some sort of personality disorder. But you wouldn't be the only one, because if we go to IMDb, the reviews are in for this movie, and we're gonna take a look at some of them. Starting off with this review that says, all my ideas are stolen. It gives it a 2 out of 10. Horror films as a genre have always cannibalized one another. It's a fairly rare thing to see an actual new idea in horror. When a new idea does come out, the film makes a mark and then it is copied repeatedly. This film is not one of those unique horror films. If you've ever wanted to explain how horror films cannibalize each other, this film is a perfect example of creating a horror film without one single unique idea, and just using a collection of stolen plots and motivations from other films strung together. This film starts with 10 minutes of just random backstory to try to set up some history, using a concept taken from the movie Seven. Then it goes on to a typical young adult road trip, ultimately ending up in a cabin in the woods. It's a very odd choice to put the title sequence here, 20 minutes into the film. Then the story continues, I know what you did last summer, in addition to borrowing heavily from the Saw and Scream franchise. A call back to Seven or perhaps The Collector, and then Scream again, and then I Know What You Did Last Summer again. Acting was a mix of terrible to passable, but as a story, it is just a bad copy of every popular concept in the past.